New this morning, Mecklenburg County Sheriff Garry McFadden is speaking out on the death of an inmate at the detention center. It happened earlier this week. We are told Dominique Chisholm died early Thursday morning after a medical emergency. Detention center officers found him unresponsive around 11:30 Wednesday night, and they began life-saving measures and called medic. Chisholm was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead around 12:30 in the morning. The sheriff's office says he'd been at the jail since April 20th for breaking and entering and weapons charges. Now Sheriff Garry McFadden is addressing Chisholm's death. He says pre-existing health conditions and illegal drugs entering the facility is the most common reason for inmate deaths. But he also cites overcrowding as a factor too. He says in part, quote, "Our detention center continues to operate over capacity with some housing units exceeding safe classification levels. Overcrowding places enormous strain on every aspect of detention operations, from housing and supervision to medical care and mental health services." Sheriff McFadden was on our 7 a.m. streaming show this week, and he told us the jail is currently holding 2,200 people, which is hundreds more than its design capacity. He shared what he believes is causing the overcrowding.
Poverty. People are poor. People are inside the detention centers and do not have the ability to leave. We evict approximately 200 people out of their homes a week. Those people who are being evicted also affects the people inside. And then we just had chronic illnesses. Some people want to be there for medication. But I think the systemic use of drugs, violence, and everything has increased.
The Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office plans to open the old juvenile detention center known as Jail North to help ease that overcrowding. It is scheduled to open September 1st. Over in Union County, similar issues, but funding a new jail will be up to voters there. We told you recently, commissioners have unanimously approved a plan to put a bond referendum on the November ballot, asking taxpayers to fund a new county jail. If voters say yes, property taxes could go up by $124 a year for a $400,000 home. This comes on the heels of severe overcrowding issues. WBTV reported some inmates were forced to sleep on the floor while others had to be moved to different facilities. The current jail also has maintenance issues that are a major safety concern. It was built back in 1994 under a federal court order to mitigate overcrowding. The Board of Commissioners says the cost of renovating the current jail and building a new one is essentially the same, so a new facility is the more practical choice.